morning, everyone. My name is Sue Fulton, and I hope you had a really good week last week. I know I did. It's so good to be back in Cincinnati. Um, I want you to go and grab yourself a cup of coffee and a pen and a pad in case I say some things that you want to jot down. And while you're gone, I'll talk to you a little bit about what I've been up to. My husband and I got back from Florida last Sunday, and I want to tell you it was not a problem traveling on the highway. We had no problem at all going over state lines. We did see that rest stops were closed, but you can go to McDonald's and get a burger or whatever you want and use their restrooms. We really did not have to stop for any slow traffic all the way. It is a whole lot colder up here in Cincinnati than it was down in Florida. I do miss those 80 and 90 degree temperatures, but I hear that next week we are in for some very delightful weather. So with that being said, hopefully you're going to be ready to take some classes again and get together with your friends. Now there are three other things. I did a Ruler Club class video last week, and this week I'm going to be talking about the Featherweight Club and a binder class and a project bag class. So let's get started with the Featherweight Club. About a year ago, a good friend of mine, Debbie Hampfauer, she used to own the Lavender Street Quilt Shop in downtown Montgomery. Oh, how we all miss that shop. We loved that shop. But she got together with a group of quilting friends, and she showed us how to take our machines apart. We laughed and we had such a good time. We lubed those machines, our little featherweights, and we put oil in them, and we learned how to take care of them between the regular service calls that we make to the technicians that take them apart and do the regular service. So this was my intention, the first class, to have you bring your tools, and we would take our machines apart and get them all spiffed up so that we were ready to sew on them. And I just have felt so guilty about leaving my machine in the closet. I just would love to be able to use it more, and I think if we had one day a month that we could get together, that would be a great opportunity to keep these machines running, because they're not going to run without us, They don't sew without us. So anyway, this is not going to work out for the first class. I've talked with several people who haven't been able to get the tools that they need for the cleaning. It's a hard time to work with any of the retailers and the companies that mail out things. So I think we'll put the cleaning of the machines off for a later date. One date this summer, we'll ask Andy to come in and help us. Now, Anitra calls Andy the featherweight whisperer, because he can do anything with a featherweight machine. He can get a featherweight machine that's hasn't been running, let's say, for many years, and he can get it up and running again. So he works by appointments, and he's really, really wonderful if you need to get your machine serviced before our first Featherweight Club meeting. But anyway, we'll get Andy to come in and give us a short tutorial on, a few of the things that we can do at home to take care of our own machines. Make sure they're oiled and they're lubricated properly. So he's going to do that for us. But I think for our first class, what we'll do is we will just plan to have a regular sit and sew. I mean, we need to have fun. We need to laugh and be ourselves again. And yes, bring your mask, and I will sit you in separate tables. We'll space out, and I think it'll be just totally fine. Bring your sandwich and your snacks and your drink of choice, and show and tell. Bring your show and tell. And we're just going to sit and sew and have a nice day together. One other thing I'll tell you is that I am going to do a tip of the month in every one of the featherweight class. And if you twist my arm, I may give you 2 tips of the month. But this book is available at Kramers, and it is extremely informative. there's also a lot of good information online. I'm going to give you a tip today, just to wet your whistles. This one here is a picture of what your faceplate looks like on your featherweight machine. Now, when you change your needle on your featherweight machine, the needles today on the modern machines, the flat side of the needle goes to the back of the machine, and the rounded part of the needle comes to the front of the machine. Those are today's sewing machines. But the featherweight is a little bit different. It has you have to put it in so that the flat part is on the right side. Now, this is the face plate of your featherweight machine. This is what it looks like. And this is your visual clue to how you put in your needle in a featherweight. You want to have the rounded part of the needle on the left, just like it's rounded on the left of your faceplate. And you want to have the flat part of the needle on the right. And that's the part on the faceplate that's on the right, the flat part. So if you look at your face plate, you're gonna know which way to put your needle in, and you're never gonna put it in backwards again. How's that? All right, there's your clue. Your tip, let's say, your hint or your tip or something like a problem solving, something that will help you enjoy your machine a little better. Now, I named my machine Dorothy, and I do hope your machines have a name because they deserve to have a name. And it may be silly, but there's a story behind the name of Dorothy for my machine, and I'd be happy to share it with you, but at the first club meeting. Okay, the second thing we're going to work on today is the project bags. That's a class that I'm going to be teaching in May. I think the first featherweight class is May 16th from 10 to 3. The project bag class, it's June 15th from 10:30 to 1:30. Now, your project bags look like this. They have some vinyl in the front so you can see in and you can see what your project is. There is no pattern, okay? This is a technique, and once you learn to do the technique, you can make your project bag in any size at all. This is heavy because it must have the book in here, okay? This project bag will help you stay organized. I tend to go out and buy some fabric, and then a few weeks later I look at it and think, what was I going to do with that fabric? What pattern was I going to use? Or I'll buy some charm packs and think, I know I was going to do something with that. What was I going to do with it? This will keep you organized. You're going to put your fabric in here with the pattern and the ruler. Another thing I do is I get a project done, and I've got to find the backing, and then I find that I've already used the backing for something else. Oh, great! Now I don't have the backing that I wanted for this quilt, and this has happened to me twice. I know I've made the binding. I can't find it, and so I make another binding, get it on so I can get the project done, and sure enough, the first binding shows up. This isn't going to happen if you decide to make the project bags. Now, I would love it if you would do the quilting part of the project bag yourself at home. This one here is about a 12 by 12. And this one here is more like a fat quarter size, 18 by 18. Let me show you a couple more. You can make it any size you want to. These here are more like the 12 by 12 size. And these here are more like the 18. Okay, do you see how wide the vinyl is on this one? You get a really good view of what your project is in there. You can make it any way you want to make it. It's going to be your choice. Now, this was another idea of mine, and it was based on a gift. This project bag was my first project bag. It was given to me by my cousin who lives up in Rochester, New York. Her name's Linda, and she quilted the back. she's learning how to do ruler work. Don't know if you can see this or not, but she practiced her ruler work on the back of here. Didn't she do a great job? You don't have to go and do it as fancy as that unless you want to. This one here, I just did, and it's very hard to see that one. It's just straight vertical lines that are 1 inch apart. Let me see. This one might be a little easier to see. Straight vertical lines, 1 inch apart. Get your piece of fabric, whatever size you want it to be, and cut 2 fabrics. One's on the inside, one's on the outside. Put the batting in the center. Do straight lines if you want. Do diagonal lines if you want. Get out your rulers and practice your ruler work. Here's another one that I did, and this is called the hanging diamond. And it's straight lines and then a diagonal through them. And it creates a little diamond look. But you don't even have to get that fancy, okay? Get your batting and your 2 pieces of fabric, sew them together, and then trim around the edges so it's nice and neat. That'll be a great way to start off the class. If you don't get it done, we'll do it in class. No worries. You'll have plenty of time to do it in class. Now, let me take one of these and I'll show you what else you need for the class. You're going to need, besides the back that you're going to be quilting, you're going to need about a ½ yard of fabric for the fabrics that are on the front here. And you can have more than one color if you want to. You can make it as fancy as you want to. It's an opportunity to be creative. This is vinyl, and the vinyl I buy at Joann Fabric, and it comes on a bolt, and it's usually against the wall on the bottom shelf. Vinyl comes in different grades, and this here is $6.99 a yard, and I believe this is a 16 gauge clear vinyl. And why don't you just go ahead and buy a yard of it? And a yard will make quite a few of these project bags and other things that I can show you what else you can do with this vinyl. If you notice that has, I don't know if you can see it so far away, do you see the yellow? There's some tissue paper inside and there's yellow writing on it. Get the one that has the yellow. This is the 16 gauge. You'll see that in Joann Fabric. And of course they have the coupons. You can use your coupons, take advantage of that. They probably will have lots of coupons by the time we get back to shopping. Let me just make sure that I don't have anything else that you need for that class. Oh yes, there is something else. This is very handy. This is an edge stitch foot. Do you see the bar in the center bottom? This is great for top stitching, and there's a lot of top stitching on your bag. So you're going to want to bring this to class. Bring a regular foot and bring this top stitching foot. Now your zipper. Your zipper has to be bigger than the back of the bag that you've quilted. So let's say I've got this bag here. I am not going to be able to get away with, say, a 14-inch zipper. It's not going to do it. It's going to come up short here. You're going to need to buy like a 22-inch zipper, even though this is only an 18-inch bag. And then we'll cut off what we don't need, and I'll show you how to do that. So you've got a ½ yard of fabric, you've got your zipper, you've got your vinyl, and you've got your top stitch needle. I think that might be all you'll need. It would be nice if you had pins and your little travel iron and an ironing pad. I like to use a, what do you call it, some kind of a cloth to put on top, pressing cloth, so that we don't get the vinyl, the iron touch the vinyl. Also, you're going to be putting a little handle on, and you're going to need some belting that goes in here. You can get belting at Joann Fabric too. You need about 14 inches for each bag. So, get a couple of yards, and then you can make several bags. I like to get the 1-inch belting, and I like to get the cotton kind rather than a nylon kind, but it doesn't matter. and it doesn't matter what color because it's not going to show. You can put black if that's all they have. Get the black because it's not going to show. Let's see here. These bags are terrific to store your projects in, to take to classes, and if we have time during the class, which I think we're going to, I will show you how to make these little pouches. And right now I have knitting and crocheting in these, and they have a zipper at the top. They're the same as the project bag, only they're pouches to carry your things around in. When I come back from Florida, I always have rotary cutters and thread and all my little tools, my little notions, all in these bags. And it's nice to have them all in one place. But these are really very, very handy. And they make great gifts. They are great cosmetic bags. People love them. Okay, so that is the project bag class. And the last class I want to talk to you about today is the binder class. Again, a little story and a gift from a friend of mine about 10 years ago. My friend made me this binder cover, and I love it. I keep a lot of my ruler work patterns in here. I know where they are because they're in this beautiful binder with the cover. I would suggest you get a 2-inch binder. The 1-inch binder is a little small, but definitely you can get it if you want to. It just doesn't hold as much in it. I like the 2-inch binder. If you get a 3-inch binder, it's a little heavy. And I'm going to show you the one that I made. It's a 2-inch binder, and it's heavy. And I wouldn't want to be lugging a 3-inch binder around. Now, the strips on the outside are going to be cut at 14 inches. I like to get a jelly roll, and because then all the colors coordinate, and I know they'll all go together, and it's going to be beautiful. But you definitely can use fabrics from your stash, and you can, as long as you can cut them 14 inches. We're going to cut them in strips that are like an inch, 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches, 2 inches, and stagger the strips on here. You're going to need to get a product called Bossel in R Form Plus. This is a product that Anitra can get for you. You're going to need one package that's 24 by 36. In that package, you'll be able to do 2 binders. And it says unique fusible foam, and mine is a double-sided fusible. It worked out really well. It's easy to sew through. It looks like this. We're going to be drawing lines on it, so bring a Frixion pen or the Blue Mark Be Gone pen from Dritz, because we're going to be drawing lines on here to keep you straight and honest. You're also going to need to have some fabric for the inside of your binder, and that is this fabric right here. It goes all the way around. You'll need a yard of fabric that goes with the front. And if you want, there are pockets on the binder that hold the covers of the binder inside here. And you can use the same fabric from the 1 yard that you're buying. You can use it inside, or you can get another contrasting fabric. If you decide on another contrasting fabric, it has to be at least 14 inches long. You'll need 4 pieces that are about 7 or 8 inches wide. And that will create the little pockets here. So it's going to be a lot of fun to work on this. I think that you'll enjoy it, and I think you'll enjoy knowing that the sky's the limit with this. You don't have to just do this for your sewing things. You can do it for gifts for people. You can make covers for your address book, for your Bible, for books that you're reading. Like, any notebook or journal that you've got, you can make a cover for it once you learn the technique. So this will be the binder class. Now, hot off the presses are going to be on May 16th is the Featherweight Club. It is from 10 to 3. May 18th is the binder class. That's 10:30 to 1:30. And on June 15th from 10:30 to 1:30 is the project bag class. One last thing. Do not be afraid of signing up for classes. We need to know whether or not you're interested in taking the classes or not. I know that I would be very hesitant of planning to do things a few weeks from now, but if for some reason, and I think we're going to be able to do this by spacing ourselves out, wearing our masks, I think it's going to work out in mid-May. But if for some reason it doesn't, you know you're going to get your money back, or you're going to be able to roll it over for a future date. So please, if you're interested in the classes, give the store a call or let Anitra know that you want to sign up for the class. I've had a good time today talking to you, and I appreciate the time that you've given me. God bless you. Stay healthy. Have a great day. Bye.